Hello, welcome to How You Can Benefit from an Extraordinary Mindset. I'm your host, Michelle Risa. Mindset is all the rage these days, from Main Street to Wall Street. Why? Because the benefits are just so huge. From decreasing stress, to better health and decision-making, to enhanced communications, both personal and professional, just to name a few. I've been helping people access these benefits for over 20 years as CEO of Collaborative Solutions, and I help my clients change how they see themselves, how they see the world, and in so doing, change the legacy they create, and in fact, create a legacy the world needs. Today we'll be focusing on how you can benefit from an extraordinary mindset of Eileen Fisher. And who is Eileen Fisher? She's an American clothing designer known not only for ethical business practices, but for selling her company to her employees to enjoy the benefits of profits. She also has used non-traditional models in her print advertising, as well as sustainable practices, and in fact uses 70% of her cotton sourced from organic cotton. I'll share more about her extraordinary mindset throughout this show. But first, I'd like to bring my colleague, Dr. Stephen Hobbs, to join me. Stephen.
Yes, it's wonderful to be here with you, Michelle. And I guess this would be an opportunity just to introduce a little bit about myself.
Please, please.
Okay, thank you. The best way to describe my work is that I guide managers and leaders to become natural educators who deliver extraordinary experiences. And in that, I've always been fascinated by what's the mindset of a manager leader to be able to do that, be able to manage and lead and to facilitate and mentor. What goes on? How do they develop it? And that's what brought me the interest to the show. And I'll certainly share some of those insights as we move through the show. So that's just a brief introduction for me. So thanks, Michelle.
Thank you for joining me. Very much appreciate your insights, your wisdom, your sense of humor, and your experience, all of that. So I'm going to jump into, at least try to ask the question, what is mindset, right? We have a fixed mindset where people believe, as the word suggests, that it's fixed from birth, not changeable, and inborn. And the other is a growth mindset. And these people believe that these abilities can in fact be changed, developed, strengthened, by, yes, some degree of commitment and work, like any other new skill, right? And what science has proven is that there actually is a gap between the stimuli in our world around us and our response or reaction to it. And those two words are key. So to the extent we are conscious and able to push the pause button and increase that gap between what occurs and our response, we actually change from our knee-jerk reaction to a more conscious response. And so place how we live, right, the power in our own hands, right, as we develop our response to life. So what I'd like you to share is your thoughts about how Eileen Fisher developed her mindset.
Oh, for sure. And we did some research and investigative work and tickled out a few things here. And there was 8 points that she made, and I'm just going to highlight those for us, and then we'll have an opportunity just to comment about them. The first one that she mentioned was, don't pretend to know, because if you don't know, then others can help share and bring more insights to bear. So that's a really important one.
Yeah.
The next one is be authentic, and I think that speaks for itself.
For sure.
Another, yes, and the next one is to tell the truth. And I always like this one, which is to accept perfect enough. This notion, I believe, of progression over perfection. Another one is focus before expanding. And another one is make it safe to tell the truth. And that is to help others join you in telling the truth. Now, I mentioned that there was 8, but there's actually 6. Maybe we'll have to go dig a couple more out at some point in time, Michelle. But those are the 6 that are important to us at this point in time. So any thoughts about any of those?
Well, I'm going to ask that we now bring up our brain and show everyone one thought, one of those that I feel it not only speaks to ourself, which being authentic, telling the truth is our own ability, but the one that I love where she includes others is to make it safe for everyone to tell the truth. Yeah? So when you're working as a team and building a company, right? When you enable others to feel their voice will be heard and respected, I believe that's part of why her company is the $300 million company that it is. Yeah, because she allows and ensures it's safe for people to give their point of view and explore new ideas.
Yes. And if I may, I'm going to just take that a little bit farther because I think this truth aspect is so important. And there's a phrase that I use when I'm sharing with managers and leaders. It's truth, trust, and transparency. I think it applies to home as well. It applies to all relationships. Because if you're speaking your truth, then trust just naturally comes. Remember that natural educator I talked about? Naturally comes. And therefore, the subject matter or whatever it is you're looking at can now become more transparent. You don't have blocks and looking through closed windows. It's about truth, trust, and transparency. And I live by that as much as I can every day. And I think that that's a central message that would have been woven into Eileen's work.
I would imagine so. I would imagine so. So I would love to actually give people a chance to hear for themselves what type of mindset Eileen Fisher has. And we have a clip of her speaking about her, well, many things. But let's take a listen and let's talk about it on the other side.
Thinking about death, thinking about the possibility of dying, made me think about living and what I wanted to live for and what really mattered. And all these people that we were meeting with, including the IPO people and, you know, the people at the different companies, I felt that they were just interested in the money and the numbers and, you know, what they could get out of it, you know, what they could take from it, more than what they could give to it.
What a powerful, powerful woman, and I think a wonderful, right? So if you don't mind, I'll just jump in here and say that I love her speaking about, as she thought about death, it made her revere life all the more, which is, in my opinion, the gift of death. I know that's a hard sentence for many of us to digest, but it does exist in our lives, and I think we can use it to our benefit. And I'll just say, I really love the her true focus on recognizing that money was not all that was important, you know, as she was looking and speaking to those looking to buy her company, and rather, as we saw from the clip, she allowed her people, her employees, to have a stock ownership plan and enjoy the profits along with her. So a conscious entrepreneur.
And I think to build on that one, Michelle, is we're talking about her extraordinary mindset, but think of the mindset of those employees who are all of a sudden presented with, we're going to own the company? Hang on a minute, I've got to wrap my head around, I've got to up-level my way of doing things, because now there's a lot more that rests with me, is that I'm no longer an employee, I'm actually an owner.
Yeah.
So I think there's something to be said about the shared mindset
Yes.
as well. And that really comes to play in that clip for Eileen. And I think we can benefit from it, because I think the key for her, and this is the thread that I picked up when I was listening to the video and we grabbed that clip, was that she came from a place of generative space, to generate something that was new, that had not existed, to bring something into thingness, to generate it with her employees. 875 persons joined her in that journey. Wow, that, to me, that's a wow factor, and really exhibits that shared mindset.
Yeah, right. And when we have ownership, right, accountability, right, what a different company it ends up being. So extraordinary, truly,
Yes.
and exemplary and inspiring.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Just really briefly, I'd like to say that, you know, I had a similar aha moment when I was working for Citibank and making the most money I had ever made, and truly looked in the mirror, Stephen, and said, I'm miserable. I mean, it just made no sense, because, you know, the traditional wisdom is that should be it. And yet, clearly, as we both know, it frequently is not. And it often can't be, right? It's the happiness money cannot buy. And it was a result of leaving and taking a new idea and saying, all right, you know, let me find my purpose in life. And that began a whole other journey for me beyond just money, which enabled me to reach this point in time, to have a sense of purpose in my life, as well as enjoy abundance. So, you know, we can truly, and I know it's not easy, and I'm not suggesting it is, it's a great many new learnings along the way to accomplish that, but she's doing it, I've done it, and I know, you know, many of us have. So I'd like to just inspire others to hook up. Well, we'll talk about what people can do to attain that. What insights, or are there more words from Eileen that you'd like to share?
Well, it may not have been directly to what she shared. However, and there's a big however there, I believe that in the managing and leading work that she would have had to have done, there would have been a lot of deep, rich conversations. And for about 20 some years, I did team development using nature-based approach, using things like rafting and hiking to be able to get at this world of managing and leading. And I bring that up is because there would have had to have been a lot of energy put into a concept like flow. How are you going to get 875 people to share a mindset that we're now going to be owners and we're going to grow this? I would love to dig in or even talk to her at some point in time and say, what was it like? Was there a flow, or was there like rapids and trees and everything in the river that would have affected the mindsets of the people, and even yours, Eileen? That would be something I would love to ask her at some point in time, because knowingly or unknowingly, she would have had to put a lot of effort into that. And I just want to acknowledge that. And again, if I use my phrase, that's a wow factor about mindset. So that's the next contribution I could make. So thank you.
Wonderful. Well, I'll set the intention that maybe we can connect with her for our next show and enjoy that conversation. I'd like to, if it's okay, to offer everyone a practical way to change their mindset, right? Tools. And
Sure.
As a student of the master of Kundalini Yoga, Kundalini is one of the many types of yoga we now have access to. And when he was on the planet, he was the master and he was my teacher. And I love having simple, practical tools to help us shift, right? So are you okay to do this with me?
I'm here, ready to go.
Okay, so your left hand goes on your heart and your fingers are pointing to the right. All right, there we go. And your right hand is if you were taking an oath, but your thumb and index finger are touching, and your other 3 fingers are simply pointing up. That's it. And the breath we'll just do for as the following. We'll inhale, hold as long as we can, and then exhale and hold out as long as we can. Okay? It actually is through the nose, so he does specify that we're to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And while we're to say it silently, this chant is a mantra, which is Waheguru. And I appreciate, let me simply say, it means wow beyond description is this journey from darkness to light, right? Guru, we've all heard about gurus, G-U-R-U. Gu is dark, Ru is light. So this is a journey from darkness to light. That's actually what a guru is, someone who's accomplished that, right? So let's just give it a try for just 2 minutes or so. So I'll say the chant out loud. I'll ask you to be silent since that's appropriate. And here we go. So inhale deeply. Waheguru, 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 and please exhale. Holding the breath out. Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Inhale. Please hold. Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Exhale. Please hold out. Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Inhale. Last cycle. Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Exhale again through your nose. With your breath out. Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Exhale. Relax your hands in your lap. And just for a moment, let them eyes stay closed and feel. See if you can feel inside, yeah? This inner being that you are. Sensing your breath. Maybe sensing the energy to be slightly different than it was before. And possibly feeling your heart is slightly more calm than it was before we began. Okay, thank you. How do you feel?
I'm great. That was just a great little refresher for me, so get it in. Also reminds me too about how important is the breath. You think breath, but no, a deep breath is really important.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, Michelle. And there's part of the story that you shared around legacy and Eileen, and I would just like to share a little bit about how she pays it forward. And because I think there's a great connection, a great thread here. And she receives awards from a lot of small business organizations and groups of feminist holistic learning centers, and turns around equally and honored by the Tickle Up program. I think that's what would be of importance here, which provides seed money and business training for 500,000 poor people seeking to start their own business around the world, in Africa, Asia, and even within the United States. And I think that that's not your usual CEO looking to put that kind of effort into the world, what I call being for the world rather than being in the world. So I wanted to just share that with you because there's a trend happening. We've known about CSR, corporate social responsibility, the triple bottom line. We hear all those terms, but it isn't really fully engaged. But what seems to be happening, and I've been seeing it and reading about it, is that the CEOs are actually weaving together this story of paying it forward in a deeper, richer way. I love that term, deeper, richer way, and bringing it in right from the beginning of the corporation. So she's a vanguard. She helped it. That was part of her mindset to get that rolling. So I just want to say thank you to her for that.
And I see it, and I know that we can sometimes hear the bad news, yes, but the Eileen Fishers of the world, I think, are illustrative of the good news. There are those doing exactly this, and I think they will inspire others to follow suit since, again, and you say triple bottom line, I'll say quadruple bottom line. In addition to profit, there is the ability to also include people, planet, as well as purpose. So how about some call to action?
Sure, let's go for it.
All right. Right? We need, it's one thing to speak about what people are doing, and now that we know we can make a difference, let's see what each of us can do. So I'd like to suggest that if you work in a company, that you can ask yourself, how can you make that environment thrive for all, right? If, in fact, even if you're not an owner, holding the mindset that we're all accountable and co-create this business. How can we do that? Yes? And I'd also ask, if you're an owner, like Eileen, how can you add more people's voice? Yes? Because when people feel heard, as we know, that is such a deep gift that we give, right? For people to be heard. And so, so I would like to suggest those two, with the caveat that we may not think whatever we're doing is significant, but research proves that every little step, every new behavior changes and multiplies and exponentially does ripple and make a change. Anything you'd like to suggest?
Well, if we went with 4 Ps,
okay.
Let's go for the 5 Ps, which is the position. The position you're in, you can do so much in your organization that can be for the world, be for your community. So let's up it and go for 5 Ps, all right? But I would also add that story of legacy is to understand about your legacy and where you are working from. What are you working from? There must be something that interests you for your community, your region, your nation, the world itself, and explore that possibility. And of the people you're talking to that you've mentioned here in the company, why not talk to them and what can you do within the company to raise the legacy story of what's in there? And again, I would just love to repeat this. You can be the best in the world, or you can be the best for the world. More importantly, just be for the world. That's what I would ask of everyone. That's a great call to action.
And yes, and we're emphasizing that with our lovely graphics. So thank you for remembering that. So let me remind everyone that they can join us at facebook.com/collaborative solutions global, so that we're looking to post only what's meaningful and of value to people. We're not tracking or care much about the number of likes or shares, but we're really looking to show up as our best and see what we can co-create together. I'll just say, come play with us and experience it for yourself. Let's see what we can, with our new mindset, what we can create. So let me ask you, is there anything else you'd like to share, Stephen?
Well, if you do come into that space with us, let's treat it as a generative space. You use the word co-creation, I'll use generative,
Okay.
to generate, add value to what's possible in your life, to the lives of others, simply because of your conversation. So let's just get in and start moving forward with ways to be for the world.
I agree. Well, I hope I enjoyed this totally, and I hope all those who joined us did as well. Thank you so very much for making this conversation rich with your wisdom and insights and experiences. I love all of what we co-create together, Stephen, so thank you.
Yes, thank you, Michelle. Yeah, it's
Right.
wonderful.
And let me say to all of us, see you very soon for our next show on how you can benefit from an extraordinary mindset. Thank you.